It's Amy again. I'm going to show you two cows here that are very similar. This is sort of a typical cow that we see in the Holstein breed today. They're narrow cows, little size to them, you know, tight snug udders, you know, some good things about them. But the biggest concern that we have with cows like this today is their front ends. We start at the head, you know, narrow heads, they have narrow chests, their legs are sort of getting closer together. Or in her case, she's wanting to spread her legs apart just to get stability. So they're not very sturdy cows. They're going to struggle with walking and getting around. So this is something we're concerned about in all cows, of course. But we want to add some width into that front end. But as we come back towards both of these cows, they don't really have that nice long rib, you know, that you want to see, that gives them that nice, good sweeping rib, dairy characteristics. And we also notice that the feet and legs, they kind of want to stand with their legs really close together, or they want to throw them behind them. So they really lack stability overall. There's no even weight bearing from side to side, from front to back. They're going to throw their legs all different directions just to stand properly. So in the Holstein breed, what we see is we have a lot of feet and leg problems today. And some of that reason is because, one, the thurl placement is not where it should be. So both these cows have thurl placements where they're actually back too far. This one is actually back farther than this one is. But, so wherever the thurl placement is centered or located will determine where those legs are going to be placed underneath her. So if the thurl is back too far, she's going to shift her legs wherever she's comfortable. The thurl is what actually holds all of that weight. So the weight bearing is right here at the thurl position. And what that does is if the weight distribution is not holding here, it's going to start going onto the feet and legs and the pasterns, which will cause them to get crampier, sore. The pasterns will get weaker to the point where they'll be walking and dragging with their dew claws. And we don't want that. So we want that thurl position more centered, so that way the weight bearing is even on the rear end. It'll also help level out the rump, so that way the rump's level, the thurl should be where it should be, the legs will be where they should be. And if that's all in place, now the udder will actually hang and develop the way that it should be and function the way that it should be. With a level rump, you'll have a level udder forward. With a ride rump, you'll have a wider udder, as examples. So in this case, with these cows, as I said, we see this mainly in the Holstein breed today, is the thurl placement. The other thing is we have cows that are almost what you would say posty or straight-legged. They're very narrow in the hop structure, so they're stiff-legged, they can't move, they can't flex, they can't bend, and that causes them to get stiff and crampy, and they can't move. You'll see cows that will actually sort of dance back and forth in your stalls. If you have an opportunity, stand on your toes and lock your knees and walk around like that or stand like that for a while. You're going to get sore and crampy after a while, and that's basically what's going on with these two cows right now. Is they just can't move and flex and bend like they should. There's just no way for that leg to move because there's no width and room for them. So the other thing is, because the cows don't have as much capacity in their rib structure and their chest anymore, all of their organs are kind of getting squeezed and they're just not working right. We need to give cows a little bit more capacity, not only, you know, longer rib, but we need to get that rib more open and more sprung. So more sprung ribs, so that way they have more room for these organs to work. That will help them maintain body condition. That will help them intake the nutrients they need so they can stay healthy, breed back, make milk, take care of their calves if they're pregnant, and so forth. And so we need to increase and make more room for here, because that's the other issue we see in a lot of cows today. Now, when we come back here, the other thing we see is a lot of the cows today are, the rear udders and rear teats are disappearing. We have cows with what you would say reverse tilt udders, where the rear teats and rear udder are higher than the front, and the teats in the rear are a lot smaller in the back. And this is an issue because it's getting harder to milk those kind of cows. So in this case, we have to basically get more rear udder and get those rear teats back again. And the only way that we know that we as analyzers can do that is by breeding them back to a dairy quality which will enhance that rear udder and rear teats.